Hi, I'm Christina, and this is New Ways Podcast. Today, my guest is an actor and director, Alex Aileen Goyko. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to get into our conversation.
Sup, surfer dude.
It's been a day. But thank you for being here. And our topic of conversation today is we're going to try to go along with imposter syndrome, as well as trying to navigate feeling like you don't have a home or you don't know who you are sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely an isolating experience. And I feel like a lot of us, regardless if you do have imposter syndrome or you have a chaotic upbringing or like even now you're trying to figure things out and you have a stable home.
Yeah.
I feel like at one point, all of us in this world have felt like we're alone and we don't know who we are or if we should be where we're currently at.
It's very true. It's I think both are pretty wild. There has to be some sort of like center, it feels like, because
you would hope there's a center, but
I know people that have that. Like I'm one of those people that lives a very nomad life. But I also know people that have everything and they're freaking miserable.
Oh, for sure.
And it's up here. That home is where the hardest thing is. So true, man.
I love that you said that because I couldn't agree more, as well as something that also popped into my mind when you said that. Because for a while when I would get uncomfortable is I would move around too. I love vacations now for the experience.
Sure.
But in the beginning, I used to do it to escape or like to feel like I could find belonging. But it's funny because like no matter where you go, you're still with yourself.
Yep. It's a trip to Italy isn't going to make you happy. You got to be happy.
Temporarily, but it's not a long lasting thing.
Oh boy.
And I feel like there's two senses of kind of feeling lost and alone is like the chronic one where it's months, years, and like you don't make a change and it sticks. And then there's also just those brief moments because I'm even guilty where like I love my life. Genuinely, I love my life. But there's been times where I'm like sitting in my apartment that I've decorated to a T of what I love. I love my friends. I have the best friends. And I'm just like, why do I feel empty?
Oof. That's a powerful question that does that feeling come up? How does that come up? Like you in the middle when you're alone, or does it come up when you're surrounded by people?
Both, to be honest with you. I feel like it's more loud when I am alone because you're not distracted by the noise. And I'm very big on like feeling my feels and staying in touch with myself. And it comes up for just no reason at all sometimes. And I'm a firm believer that we don't always know why things come up.
Yeah, it's that quantum thing.
Yeah. Or it's also
just
what I see though is we were kind of talking about this too before in one of our many conversations is I see it as everything that pops up is there for you to analyze, not judge. And to me, sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe this means that it is time for me to like move something, not necessarily homes, not necessarily like friend groups, but I just need a micro shift, or it's just telling me to be aware of where something's not serving me or aware of situations that might present themselves that feel like a change.
It's true. It sounds like you're really good at that. I mean, we've been talking about you hopping over to like Santa Monica one day or leaving the country and going on you just went to Costa Rica for that reason, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's true. There is a fine line, I think, with that and escaping.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where I was forced to grow up in a way that I had to move around so much that I realized
it's a defense mechanism now.
It might be a defense mechanism. Like that imposter syndrome thing it can be built in from so long before that we think that by changing something it's going to change, but it's something else. It's like in us.
So two things then for you. One being, how do you differentiate then? And I don't know if you're good at this yet or you're still learning, is how do you differentiate from escapism and when it's actually time to make a shift?
That little... I struggle with it. I struggle with that because everybody says it's your gut feeling and all this stuff. And it's like, no, like we are results driven people. If you move to a new place and it goes really well for you, you're going to look back and be like, this was the right decision. And vice versa is true too. But I'm of the school that you have to make a choice and then make the choice work for you.
Yeah,
or
make it the
accept
choice
like
to
justify
act
it
on
after.
it. Yeah.
It's you know what I do a lot? I flip a coin.
Really?
Maybe like 10 times a day. For everything.
You do that often?
I do that 10 times a day. Or more. Like it with the little things, that two things that are almost identical. Best place to flip a coin and just go. In fact, I don't even flip a coin. I tell Siri, I go, hey Siri, heads or tails? Oh shit, she's gonna freak out. Watch.
Did we hear her? Okay, good.
I muted her. Good. But anyway, it's like it's really cool because it removes the choice from you. Like you just need to pick something, and then you just go.
Because I do agree with that. Like being stagnant is also a choice, and that's what keeps a lot of people stuck in these places they're no longer supposed to be in, and that's why they feel lost.
It's true. Steve Jobs used to talk about that. The reason why they all have uniforms, the turtleneck with the thing, was because the less choices you have to make, the more ability to make choice you have.
Yeah,
because you have a limited amount of choices to make in a day.
But do you listen to her when she tells you?
Yes, my rule is I have to listen to her. And I mean that. Like sometimes I'll do it, and I mean this is getting semantic-y, but sometimes I'll do it where it's like, let's say I'm picking between two things, but I'm still not quite sure. I'll be like, consider doing this thing. So I'll give myself an out sometimes, but most of the time I'll go with the thing, and that goes for like sending an email or asking for more money or something that you're scared to do. I think the choice just has to happen for you, and then you do it.
Do actually like leaving it up to chance because, and it depends who you are. We're people that trust the universe, trust in a higher power.
Exactly. If you trust it's going to lead you somewhere, you know, it's not going to lead you astray. It might be not ideal.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe it comes from the fact that my sister and I have a twin sister, Sharina, and, we grew up, we watched we read Monkey's Paw way too young. I had just learned English and I read Monkey's Paw, which is basically just be careful what you wish for, the way you wish for something. So like, it's this, I mean, have you read it?
So I didn't, but when you mentioned it, I Googled it. So it is like you think
crazy.
Something's
like,
good and it's,
I mean, this is morbid, but they find a lucky paw thing that grants you wishes. And the first wish, it's not even a spoiler because it's the first one, is, she goes, I want $100,000. And the next day she gets a knock on the door. Right. It's a story from the 1800s. So $100,000 was like a chunk of money.
I'm sorry, you guys continue.
I mean,
you know where my mind's at.
$9 billion.
Continue. I'm
she
sorry.
Goes, it's so dark too. She goes, I want that money. And on the next day there's a knock on the door. And it's a guy with a briefcase with $100,000. And he goes, here's this money because your son got jammed in the machine where he works in the factory. And it's like, because my sister and I read, and it gets worse and worse.
That is dark.
It's so dark, but it was the way that we pray and the way that we ask for things is so specific now, because I do think that whole be careful what you wish for thing is kind of true. Like you could say, I want to be like the guy from Friends, Matthew Perry. There's an interview of him saying, like when he was going through it, he goes, I remember asking God, make me famous as you can, and then do what you will with me after. And he says, I wish I wouldn't have said that because I struggled so much.
And do what you will with me after, though. I feel like that's where you're like,
well, to be fair, I do believe in the praying by saying, giving something back.
For sure.
But I think I'm so careful with what I put out there because of that. So like, it's
that's intense.
Heavy.
I was going to say, I do also believe in like, be careful what you wish for. But one of the reasons why this kind of goes back to like not feeling like you have a home is like, I feel like different places that I go or things that I ask for that I thought is what I wanted and I didn't.
And you don't.
Or I like to this day, if you asked me like 10 years ago if I wanted to end up in LA doing this, like I'd be like, oh, that's dope. But like, no way. Like that wasn't the dream, right? Or the picture even. Now it's the dream. Fuck it's almost as if we can't visualize it. Like we can
ask for things, but we have to accept that life is life as well. You know,
and I do think that there's also no like necessarily taking shortcuts. Like I do believe in wishing for things and working with your higher power or working with the energy. But I'm like, the reason why I'm not scared of that necessarily is because once again, I do believe everything is serving me. But secondly, I'm like, if you know that you want something for a good reason, not vanity, like becoming famous to be famous, I'm like, at least I hope, and what I know is I try to do everything for the good of myself as well as everybody else, not just me.
Yeah.
I think that underlying thing and having that notation when making wishes or when wishing for something and moving forward with your life, just knowing that it's pure of heart is what will hopefully save you from that karma that we're talking about with like monkey's paw or with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was Marcus Aurelius too that talked about it. He was like, you know, people wish for things to be better, but in doing so, you're removing all the lessons, you're removing all the stuff. So it's like, instead of, you know, priests do this too. They don't ask for, they don't say, oh, I make this easy. They say, give me strength. By you going through something and then you're stronger.
Yeah. And that's even though back to like you mentioned before, you're like, I know people who have like a fabulous home and have the luxury of doing all these things and they're not happy. But I'm like, maybe that's because a lot of the things that we're wishing for instance, like the $100,000, like it's all coming from ego. And it's all coming from of like what you think is what people want to see from you as well as what you think is going to make you happy. And that's what brings us further and further away from ourselves and our homes and makes us feel lost is because we're not actually doing things once again from like a soul level, from what we know is probably good for us, from what we know like in our heart we want. We're doing it from an ego way. Because it's easy to feel lost and like you don't have a home when you've lost connection with yourself.
And you might not feel grateful when you're walking around your normal life. And I know it sounds so cliche. Oh my God, be grateful. But like Jimmy Carr, this famous British comedian, he's hysterical. He has an interview where he says, when you're 30, you look a certain way, or when you're 20, you look a certain way, and you may not have any money. But the person who is 60 years old, who's a billionaire, would trade every single cent he has to feel like you did at 20. And life is so wild that we have to just appreciate it like we're writing a story because, you know, maybe it's because of the way I was raised, like, or the loss of a parent, like a slow loss of a parent. Like my dad had Alzheimer's for 10 freaking years.
Really?
And it was like,
ooh, that's rough.
It was like, you know, like a battle that happens so slowly that it's almost, I mean, it's horrible, but like sometimes you just want people to be free by just
I mean, like I work in hospitals. Like I see when we prolong death and we drag on situations, and I've heard the screeching of somebody who actually does pass. And part of me is just like, I can't. Yeah, because it's like
crazy.
Watching that, especially somebody you love, I can definitely see where that is detrimental to your mental state.
Oh yeah.
And like because nobody wants to see their loved ones in pain.
No, I do think,
or suffering or confused.
It also, to tie it back to this like not being enough, I do think it gives you a sense of nothing matters, so enjoy it. Like enjoy yourself. It slows you down. It's like getting broken up with or getting cheated on. It's all like so out of your control that to some people you go like, oh, it's not that I'm not enough. It's that it's just out of my control, and I get to just enjoy here now. It's like having I've had near-death experiences in my life. I almost died in an elevator that free fell 15 stories in the Crown Plaza in New York. I was going to the gym and it was awful. But the food tasted so good that afternoon.
Yeah.
Because I was there. I was present. I was alive. And you don't have to have a near-death experience to do that. You could just enjoy the fact that we're here right now. You may be missing a bunch of stuff, but damn.
Why do you think we get so disconnected from the truth? And by truth, I mean that like...
the phone.
You think that's it?
No.
Comparison?
No,
conditioning?
our brains are wired to go forward and backwards. They're not wired to be here. Because
I disagree with that though, because I'm like, once again, like nothing's in our control, but I do believe that in a sense, like the one thing we do have kind of control over is us. Like you're right, I can't control other people. You're right, I can't control random events that happen in this world, but I can control me for the most part and my mind and what I believe. And that's why like meditation is even a huge thing when it comes to like realizing what's important and practicing to stay present.
Meditation is what? Being.
Just being.
It's just like being. Literally being here. Right here. So if you're able to do that, you can unlock the future. You can unlock, and I don't mean in a magical way. I mean, sure, I'd like to think so. I do yoga in the morning.
Mm-hmm. I believe in magic.
I do it with like all the 40-year-old beautiful women. I'm like the happiest man in the world. But I do it because there is a part of me that is I am religious. Like I believe in God. There is a part of me that thinks that I can visualize my path through the stillness of it. But practically, it's also nice because we're so worried about what happens around the corner that we might not enjoy the fact that we're sitting here right now. We are safe.
Our nervous system does play a role. It's just now we've skewed it with so many different things because we hear the negativity that's going on the other end of the world. And like, you are safe and you're perfect just the way you are. And instead of seeking for external to be your home, like you should genuinely be your home and your safe place too. Because once again, it's a fact. You can't control the outside world, but you can kind of control you.
Yeah.
But why do you think,
do it?
How do I do it?
How do you do it?
Reminding myself that I can kind of control me. And I mean, not in the sense of like, I don't believe that I can control my emotions every single day because there's definitely things that I go through, but I can control my outlook on things.
Yeah.
And and I control how I move and I control how the story that I want to tell.
Yeah.
I get this voice in my head. Like I don't make up everything, but I get to like make up what I want to listen to and what I don't. It's just, and it's my like undying faith where I'm just like, that's a choice, is me having undying faith where I'm like, this might not make any fucking sense to anybody, but I'm like, I know me. And maybe it's because like I've had my entire life, I've had people tell me who I am and I've never liked what they've told me.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm just like, I'm so sick of people telling me who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be doing. I've always been very rebellious. I'm like, tell me why.
So
but
you're
I'm like
the opposite of imposter syndrome.
I think, but I was like, I struggled with imposter syndrome for so long and realized that it wasn't fucking working. Yeah. Like me dealing with what everybody else is telling me to believe in and say and do and turning myself into somebody that I know in my heart and soul I'm not. I wasn't happy. So I sat there one day and I was looking around and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing then? Like, what's the point? Like, I don't have a home. I don't even feel like I'm me. And I don't have friends that resonate with me. I don't like what am I doing?
It's heavy. I mean, I remember, I still think this. The cutoff date on schools, like if you were born, and I was born on September.
Like if you have a birthday, you're either above a grade or kind of a lower grade.
Oh my God. Parents have put like, my parents didn't know and we moved to the States. So like they just put us a grade above where were you supposed to go? So my entire life, my imposter syndrome came from, I'm younger than everyone. So I'm catching up to everything. So not only did I live in like 12 different places, I was always catching up. Like people were driving a year and a half before I could, or people were like living life, going to the movies and walking around before I could because we weren't of age yet. Like I went to college, I was 16, 17, because we had done it early. And that struggle causes what you're saying. It's like, it causes the anxiety of like, am I enough? Or am I ever going to grow up? It
confuses you because you're like, what the heck? Like this is what everybody's telling me. Is this true? And you try to make it true because you're like, it must be if everyone's telling me at a young age, because you believe people naturally at a young age. And then
it's a great motivator sometimes too. Like, for instance, like I still get texts from people in high school. They're like, where was this fitness stuff when we needed you for football? I was like, I was 12 when I was 13 when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I'm a baby. I don't know what to do.
How did you get out of that then? Because that must have been some like hard thing to get out of. Like I'm always behind that programmed in your subconscious.
It's still kind of there. I think what's cool though is that life eventually evened out. So like So like I did kind of catch up, but I still think about it. I think about people who put, they put their resources in a place or have a community. And for a long time, I wanted like a community and I didn't have that. So I played catch up with so many things in my life, like community, a home, a city that I love, like everything. Mm-hmm. But the flip side of that is that it actually made me kind of like enjoy that I was different. So now I know that I beat to my own friggin' drum. I'm the strangest human ever, and it makes me laugh. I wake up in the morning and I laugh. Like today, I was at the gym doing my thing. I was locked in. It's lock-in September, so I'm like, all right, I'm locked. Yeah. I don't know. My algorithm keeps telling me lock in September.
Isn't it supposed to be before summer?
Doesn't matter. You're locking in now, so I'm like all locked in. Cut to this guy that I know. He comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, you're so happy today. You're like dancing and you're smiling." And I'm like, "I thought I was locked in."
Yeah.
But it turns out that it's because I'm happy with whatever's going on. I'm happy with the fact that I beat to my own drum and I enjoy it.
I get that. I definitely think that you radiate different when you truly step into who you are, and that's where it's like I said. Don't get me wrong. Even nowadays, like. I'm not perfect. I still get imposter syndrome. I still get down on myself. I still feel like I'm missing a home sometimes, but it doesn't last as long as it previously did.
Yeah.
Because you learn to like get past those things if you choose to learn to get past those things.
But that's it. You said it. It's the choosing bit. I mean, I struggle with that. I struggle with self-sabotage because of it. I struggle because I think, oh my God, like, what is it? Woody Allen in Annie Hall, he has a famous line. He goes, I think it's Annie Hall. He goes, I don't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member.
Really?
it's like, yeah, like why are they inviting me to do that thing? Why can't they just find someone better? Or it's like, why would I want to go to that party if I'm going to be the coolest person there or whatever?
I kind of I agree with the second one, not necessarily the first one. I love being in rooms and being like an underdog because I'm like, I get to learn.
Sure. There are two sides of it. This is true.
Yeah.
But both of them are built on the anxiety that you're not enough. So that's where the imposter syndrome might come in, because it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to, like the movie Soul, like that whole, the fish who's swimming in the water and he goes up to the older fish and he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for the ocean." And the guy's like, "This is the ocean." He's like, "No, this is water." And,
so how do you think you distinguish that though, where like everybody's telling you, and I think this is a good and a bad perspective. Like it's bad when people are telling you something that you don't want to be, right? Like when I was younger, people like the labels that I got, like I was a misunderstood teen. So I was often labeled as like a bad person.
Oh yeah. And that stays with you.
Yeah. But the thing is like growing up, I'm like, I was hurt. I was scared and like nobody would listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're told that, but now when you're older, kind of what you're saying is if people are coming up to you and saying you've accomplished great things and you're a cool guy and you're fit,
you might not believe it.
But that's what I mean. How can you get past that, or why don't you believe it?
I think the reason why I got past that, body dysmorphia is the wrong word. I don't have that. I just can't see anything. Does that make sense? Like people tell me like, "Oh, you're like super fit and you must work out like an hour every day." And I'm like, I eat pasta and burgers every day and I eat pizza and I don't care.
Because I feel like even the culture's programmed us to be like, if you're not doing something 100%, like you're not the best version. So people can't see. So therefore, like you're not actually living up to full potential. Like you shouldn't be reaping the benefits and the rewards of being 75% healthy. Right.
And to me, I think to finish that point is like the reason why it's worked, even though the chances were that it wouldn't, is because I got to enjoy the in between. I'm not fit because I like looking a certain way. I could care less. I'm a pimply faced like kid in my head. So it's not about that. It's about just purely the joy of being in a jungle gym. like doing silly, walking your hands, like all this stuff makes me laugh because I think it's funny. And the result from that is everything else that people strive for, which I think is so funny. And I think about it in terms of like one of my best friends, his name is Kevin. He's successful. He's in finance and does all this stuff. And it's not because he's really good, but it's also because he freaking loves it. Like
he has fun with it.
He has so much fun with it that the stress doesn't come from that. It comes from other parts of life. Like I think going back to what we were talking about, like that little voice that we have, that little voice is telling you where the excitement is. Like what thing is making you chuckle? Like what, for instance, we go line dancing every Wednesday. I'm not from the South. But 6 months ago, we walked into a place that does line dancing as a joke.
Yeah.
And every Wednesday for the last 5 months, I'd say.
Forever. Sometimes Fridays.
We go and we freaking line dance. Why? Because it's funny. And I see that some of us are getting so good at it that they might become line dancers.
Professional line dancers.
And I think that's the funny part about life. Like it has nothing to, we're so worried about like the goal or the I'm not enough or the whatever, but it's more about what makes you laugh. Like what do you think is funny enough for you to want to do tomorrow?
Yeah.
If I was a trainer at a gym, I would just make people do the workouts that they think look the coolest. Because
that's what keeps you going, though, also. Because being miserable, I'm sorry, as much as people love living in their misery, I don't think it's sustainable. I don't.
It's awful.
And having that negative connotation or like underlying vibe to things, it actually does you more harm than good.
And then you trap yourself because you start spending all the money on things trying to
fix everything that never really needed to be fixed in the first place.
Yeah, like in Spanish, the word for like something fun to do is diversión.
Okay.
So like a diversion, but a diversion also means trying to like divert from the original problem. So I think about that a lot. I'm like, guys, I don't, you're going out to drink, you're going out to doing, I love all of it. But I think at some point, maybe I was escaping by doing all that stuff, by, the adventure. But at some point you got to look at yourself and say, okay, wait, it's not about that. I have to enjoy what it's in front of me. What other people consider work is the thing that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So find that. That's the thing.
It is. And I love how you even brought up like line dancing as an example, because I feel like this is a very like clear cut way to explain that, like when you allow yourself to be free, because you see those people who don't want to really dance because they're nervous, they're scared people are going to judge them. And then they're trying to do everything perfect. And they actually land up tripping over their own 2 feet. But it's those people who go just to have fun, and now it's like second nature because they're having fun with it. They're playing. They're in a free state. You move more eloquently. You move more just, what's the word?
Free. Like,
free.
It happens in
like
acting
in rhythm.
too.
You know what to do. Your body knows what to do. And your heart and your soul, you know you're worthy. You know you're good enough and you can do these things. It's allowing yourself to just do what we're naturally here to do, which is be awesome.
It's true. I think the opposite of what we're talking about is what was Jim Carrey was saying of if you're not happy, you create a mask, and then eventually that mask is going to shatter. And you will be freaking depressed, which is really hard to get out of. And the amount of antidepressants that they're pumping on people these days is insane. I mean, not to get graphic, but it removes so many other parts of your life that you're supposed to enjoy. Like I dated this girl who took an antidepressant that she could not get to where she wanted to go to be less.
Well, in a sense, antidepressants like suppress your natural production of chemicals that you kind of need to have the creative outlets in life to express certain types of emotions.
It just numbs you. And if you're on them, then it's because you have to be, or you want, and whatever. And that's like, good, keep going. But I hope there's a world in which they stop pumping people with friggin' Adderall and
I think there's a time and a
antidepressants.
place for sure. Because I have talked to some people and they're like, it literally did save my life.
Of course,
and I get
of
that.
course.
But also you're talking to somebody who's
Oh
like,
my God.
when I was 15 and everybody labeled me as like a bad kid, my mom tried to put me on antidepressants. I was prescribed 50 milligram Vyvanse at 15. Did I take any of that shit? No. Because like I knew I wasn't like suicidal. I knew in my heart and my soul and like who I was, like it's still at that young age. Like
My
I don't think
God.
I need this.
Yeah.
But no, I think we should be more on the conservative end when it comes to who we give them to. But we do give them away like it's candy. And people do love an easy fix because God forbid when that face shatters, though, it's devastating.
It's devastating.
It really is.
Yeah, and it's hard to look at yourself too. You know, it's hard to deal with an imposter syndrome. It's hard to deal with a life like you look at everybody around you and everybody's doing fine and you're going through something that you can probably not talk about.
But I love this podcast too because I can't tell you how many people came on here. They're like, I'm doing fine, but I'm not doing fine. We're all fucking burning.
Fine. Something's missing.
But then, yes, when something's missing, but also like this is a part of fucking life. The second we all stop pretending like we have it all together is the second we all think that like we stop thinking we're ahead or we're behind or we have to be this. Everybody is absolutely everything.
That's it.
Like we've all been through the ringer and
oh God.
Yeah, I mean,
and you can share and you don't have to share everything. You could just there's always someone to talk to and there's always something you can do. And I hope that some people can do that because being numb is nowhere to live.
No, it's not. And once again, too, this too shall pass. And the shattering of the mask is now allowing you to actually embrace and show your true self. So as much as it sucks right now, it could be the most freeing thing in your life. Because every single time I thought my life was ending or I was like, holy shit, like what is going on? It allowed me to feel the pain, make my way through it, and then end up on the other end better than I started.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
That's what God said. You know that it's whatever, you know. It's the story of Job. Like Job. You know, if God takes something away, He's going to replace it with something better. You have to actually believe that, or else, damn, that's a hard way. Even if that's not true, like what a way to live. That it's better to live thinking, oh my God, it's going to be fine.
Sometimes I'm like swearing at the sky, like, what the heck? This is tough.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. To this day, me believing that something good right around the corner or that like everything is serving a purpose,
helps a lot.
It's helped me so much more than saying this is, because you're right. If you think it's going to crumble you, it will. You don't want to keep moving forward. You're not going to, but
that's it.
Yeah.
And the opinions of other people too are so, they can affect you if you don't actually believe the original. I think it can go the other way too. Like I think some people have to bring down the hubris.
Yeah.
I think some people are walking around with some energy and you're like.
But also at the same time, sometimes that over exaggeration it's a defense mechanism also. So I think knowing yourself is actually like being raw and vulnerable. You don't have to just shout it out to the world like I do, you guys. That's just my coping mechanism is like, you just have to be honest with yourself. Nobody else has to know. But as long as you know and you acknowledge it and you don't hide those parts, like that's when you start to allow yourself to heal and find a true home, which is within yourself. And nobody can take that away from you.
It's true. It's one of the hardest things that you could possibly do. But if you do it, or if life forces you to do it, which is more likely, that's what is it? If you see the gates of hell, walk through, keep going, or something. I'm paraphrasing, but that's like if you find yourself in hell, if you find yourself walking through hell, keep walking.
I mean, what do you want to stay in hell?
Yeah, but like there's a beautiful analogy of buffalo.
I know this actually. The buffalo run towards the storm. They don't run. Yeah, so it's the buffalo. I love this. I love that you know this.
Yes,
the buffalo, you guys, buffalo actually run towards this. They can sense when a storm is coming. Animals can, it seems like. So the buffalo run towards the storm because they know if they run away from it, they will be stuck in it longer. Cows run away and they're stuck in the storm longer. Yeah. So do you want to be a buffalo or do you want to be a cow?
And that's one of my favorite. I think about that all the time. All the time.
I love that you know that.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite things. That's why the flipping coin is really powerful too, because it's like, just flip your coin. A choice will be made for you if you can't make one. So just justify it. Walk through that.
Okay, I love that. To end our little chat right now, my question for you is, what's the last thing you asked the coin flip?
It was something really silly. I had a couple glasses of wine last night. I woke up a little woozy.
I'm happy you made it.
I know. And I woke up, it was like 6 a.m, and I'm like, should I do something random, like take a random class? I think it was like I did like a yoga class. And it said go right now.
It said go?
It said go.
That's what
right
the coin
now.
flip did?
Yeah. And I did, and my day would not have been as productive as it was if that wouldn't have happened.
So you took the class.
So I took a yoga class, half asleep. The guy got mad at me because he's like, you're not doing this right. Are you? I was like, I don't care.
It's really?
Like, asleep. Yeah.
Interesting.
It felt really good.
Yoga is a good practice.
But all kinds of stuff. Like it's nice. It's nice to know that you don't have to choose. Like just do something new today. Go to a coffee shop you've never been to. Go on a walk. Talk to the stranger in the elevator. Your brain will literally send so much dopamine to your body when you do something new that it's worth it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that insight and for this amazing conversation. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure.
And until next time, you guys, thank you for listening, and I love you.